Hi there YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Lisa the PFJ here. Hope you're having a lovely Thursday morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever time of day it is, wherever part of the world you're in. Hope you're having a good one. And welcome back after a little bit of a break again. The videos aren't coming thick and fast at the moment because life's a bit crazy with the lead up to Christmas and all that good stuff. So I had to come on today to talk a little bit about a couple of things that have broken the past day or so that caught my attention. And how could I not, given what my channel has been about for the most part since I started it. So if you've seen in my previous videos, you'll know I cover a lot of culture stuff. I've covered a lot of Rings of Power, and I've also covered very recently a few stories about the DC universe and the direction that's been taken after the changeover of management and the buyover of Warner Brothers. Now, as with everything in Hollywood, it seems at the moment, they take one step forward and about 10 steps back because, as a lot of people have said, it's a bit hard to change the course with something as big as Hollywood and the whole corporate structure that goes on in that neck of the woods. So, here we go. Right off the back of in October, when after the post-credits scene of Black Adam, where Superman makes his appearance after a long break away, not counting the Snyder Cut of Justice League, obviously, and an announcement not long after from Henry Cavill himself saying that he was so excited to get the cape back on and get back into it, along with a picture of him in all his glory in the Superman costume, and also the little red carpet interview he gave where he said how again, reiterated how excited he was to be donning the cape, and the whole quote that said about hope, optimism and joy. And I think, to be fair, even if people who aren't the biggest fans of the DC universe and the iteration of it that came from Zack Snyder, I think the overall feeling was that most people really liked Henry Cavill's interpretation of Superman, and what was more, just because of the enthusiasm he brought from being a fan himself, I think that won a lot of people over. But as with most things to do with Hollywood, it's proof that we just can't have nice things, can we? Because lo and behold, here we are this morning in December, not even 2 months later. Henry Cavill has put a post on Instagram announcing that he has not been renewed, or if you want to call it renewed, he will not be returning as Superman going forward. So can I be charitable? And I haven't brought it up, sorry, so I can't really read it word for word, but James Gunn, who has been made us head of the DC universe essentially going forward, has been hired in that role to take the DC universe forward. The announcement he put on Twitter himself, it was quite brief, and it just went along the lines of the decision we've taken going forward is that we want to take Superman in a direction story-wise where he will be a younger version of the character, meaning that Cavill will not be returning. It basically just giving that as his reason, I think, that he won't be playing him anymore. From that aspect, I guess I can understand why, and if you just look at the wording yourself, I have it on the screen in front of me, of how Henry has taken it and the message he's putting out. It's very classy, as I wouldn't expect anything less from the man, because he just comes across as just a genuinely decent dude. And you can read it to you if you can't see this. I have just had a meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran, and it's sad news, everyone. I will, after all, not be returning as Superman. After being told by the studio to announce my return back in October prior to their hire, this news isn't the easiest, but that's life. The changing of the guard is something that happens. I respect that. James and Peter have a universe to build. I wish them and all involved with the new universe the best of luck and the happiest of fortunes. And he goes on to say that, Superman will still be around even if he isn't playing him. It's just a really class act and a really sort of genuinely nice way of saying that, I'm sure he's gutted and I suppose he is just taking it as that's the way it goes, especially somewhere like Hollywood. But off the back of it, when if you're like me and you've seen the videos of some of the reactions within the theatres of the post-credits scene of Black Adam, people were going fucking nuts. They were erupting, and it was just like, there's a reason for that, and it's not just because it's Superman, because I mean, we've got the fans of the character himself, but it's also because it's Henry Cavill. And I mean, it's not even unceremonious, I don't think. I think they seem to have sort of given him a good reason by the looks of things of why they're not going forward with him. But to give people that hope and just to rip it from underneath them in the space of less than 2 months is really fucking jarring. And it doesn't come across to me as a very good idea. It's something that they're going to have to back up with some really good bloody evidence as to why they're doing this. And if it turns out to be some sort of bait and switch like they've done with everything else, then I've got fucking news for you, DC. That's not going to go over well. But I suppose we'll find out, won't we? And the other thing it mentioned me, and if people can correct me if I'm wrong because I haven't seen anything else like that about these other characters, but if this is the line they're taking, and given the age and level of characters that they have within the DC universe other than Superman, it does bring into question who they're going to put in going forward if they do decide to just build another universe. Because if they're going for younger versions of these characters, then you can count out Batfleck, you can count out Jason Momoa as Aquaman, and finally you can count out Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam. Because there is no amount of excusery you can make with him being this massive bankable star and making your reason the fact that they need to go for younger characters. It would not explain why then the likes of Dwayne Johnson or Jason Momoa got to stay on board. And now I don't know for sure if that's how it's going to be, because I mean it could turn out that they will go a different direction and these guys won't get their turn. But given the fact that Black Adam only came out this year after such a long time of them waiting to release it, and given the fact that it's Dwayne Johnson, he's this big massive star, I don't think he's going to let go of that easily. So if it comes to that, I think they're going to have a fight on their hands. And to smack people in the face with something from an actor who is so well loved by the fandom, only to tell them that he's out, but Dwayne Johnson gets to stay after only having like a short amount of time at the helm, I think that's going to be a hard sell for a lot of people. So, and given the fact that Black Adam wasn't this massive success that I think they all expected it to be. So, yeah, I'm interested to see where they go, but given the way things have been recently, I'm not getting my hopes up, guys. Now on to the next little bit of news, which I really don't want to talk about, because I've kind of been in a nice headspace the last few months, given the amount of bloody mental toll that show took on my head. But this came out last night as well, and it is basically it's the antithesis of a double down. It's not the antithesis, that's the wrong word, I'm not sure. It is the epitome, I think, of a double down. And let the headline speak for itself, shall we? The Lord of the Rings of Power sets all-female directing team reveals episode count for season 2. Because that's what we all wanted, wasn't it? That was the problem with Rings of Power. There wasn't enough bloody XX chromosomes in the director's chair. Jeez, I put it in a different thing when I sent a message to my other half earlier on. I said there wasn't enough minge. But it was like, is there anything I can say that will explain this? There isn't. This isn't anything that actually deserves any kind of benefit of the doubt. It's like, you had, given the fact that it fell out of the top 10 of the Nielsen's ratings before it had even ended, the fact that the feedback from the proper fans was so bloody bad in terms of everything to do from character to story to, or lack thereof, to the overuse of CGI, to the slow pace of most of it, where they tried to rush through things that they probably could have done with fleshing out more. The whole thing was a disaster, and no matter how much they tried to dress it up, or how many times they tried to manipulate certain things like ratings or reviews or wherever it might have been, the proof of the pudding was anywhere you looked online, where from anyone to the normies to the proper hardcore fans, no one was loving this show. It just, there was no genuine love for this show. The only thing anybody could say, the visuals were quite nice. You know, costumes were okay. You know, there wasn't anything about how great it was, how engaging it was. You know, it was all just superficial stuff, if anything. And now that we've got this in the lineup, that we won't get the show probably for at least another year, and then this comes out, and it's like they haven't learned anything, have they? It's just they haven't learned a damn thing. It's like I know what will make everyone come round to us. Let's make all the directors women. It's like, oh, for crying out loud. So fine. But if whether anybody thinks that they're going to care about this, I really don't see it. It's just such superficial bollocks, and that they think that just identity is the thing that's going to save them. Something in their minds tells them that this sort of thing is what everybody's looking for, is what everybody wants in their entertainment now, and however many times they're going to have to do this, and have however many times things are going to have to flop before they learn their lesson and go, actually, no, this isn't what people want. They just want to be told a good story with good actors and you know, good people behind the camera. There's, you know, but not good people, but competent people, talented people who know what they're doing. And there's nothing to say that these women won't know what they're doing. I'm sure they're all, whoever they are, very good. I can see one here, Charlotte Brandstrom. She was the only female director in season 1. She's going to be leading an all-female directing team. She directed the Mount Doom eruption. Oh God, I think that was the one that everybody had the most problems with. What their resumes look like, I can't really say, but I mean, they might well have experience. I don't know, but if they're going to go down the same route and just decide that this is going to be the band-aid that's going to fix everything, then they've got a big bloody backlash on their hands. And even if that is, even if enough people give a shit when this thing comes out, whenever that may be. So, yeah, another one, wait and see, but I don't have any confidence, guys, at this point. I don't know about you. I've kind of given up on that at this point. If anybody else wants to cover it and talk about it, be my guest. I'll be more than happy to watch your content on it, because I think I'm going to put my feet up and sit this one out. So, thanks for watching, everyone. I'm going to leave it there. Take care of yourselves. If I don't make anything beforehand, have a wonderful Christmas. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and bye-bye.